Welcome to a new edition of Gravel, Grub, and Beer. Today we have actually a really nice day, spring day, up in north of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, in the Delaware Water Gap Park area, which includes the McDade Trail, which is the plan today is to do a good portion of that. Head north on the trail, should be quite a bit up and down. It is not a rail trail. And then a little climbing about the halfway point, turnaround point. So a big teardrop loop. Excited to do this. I've been on this trail before in the lower part. It's true gravel, bigger rocks. I'll try to explain that a little more as we get down there. There's the map. The place I'm at is kind of nice. It does have a little, and you'll see that on the map when I click download the link of the ride. There's a little restroom area, as you can see there, and whatnot. And I'm going to try to drop down and pick up this loop that I put together, and hopefully it works. And if not, well, we'll just wing it. So pretty interesting gravel. Not even a mile or two into this already, and a couple bridges. Very cool. Serpentines back and forth, a little up and down, nothing major. Looks like we had some storms last night, so it might be a little muddy, and I might be riding around puddles at some point. So after a little bit, we dumped onto a little more dual track, but kind of cool, although tougher this time of year. As you see parts of the Delaware River, thus the name of the Delaware River Gap and McDade Trail ride. But you see that you're riding basically along it. So certainly making for a pretty ride. Although I'm questioning the sunglasses, as this isn't a lot. This trail's in a lot of shade. So you have light and then you don't have light. So it's kind of interesting, but beautiful day so far. This portion of the ride still dual track. Kind of interesting, showing the not true gravel nature. So the water bottle is there for size reference of some of the rocks, although they are pushed down into the ground pretty good. Interestingly, on this section, I just got passed by a truck, so this isn't bike only. That's news to me. And yes, the Dasani water bottle. I forgot my water bottles at home. Moral of that story: don't leave your water bottles at home. This isn't fun riding with bottles that don't fit in the water bottle cage. When great plans go awry. So I had this loop picked out, was staying on it, on that dual track, told me to make a 180-degree turn to head up a trail hill, and there was nothing, so I'm guessing it was overgrown, because I picked this ride up from others that have done it. So in my favorite fashion, backtracking to get back on the McDade Trail, which if you're following this, I actually made the wrong turn because I wasn't paying attention to my computer. So we'll take this for another 20 minutes or so and just do an out and back, and then go grab some lunch and a beer. Still on the McDade Trail, although just went up a pretty serious climb, like a mini Alpe d'Huez with gravel. You'll get if you know the reference, you know. So I don't know if I'm halfway through the climb or to the top. Looks like it still goes up, but cool little bridge here. Continue. So a lot of this in the last mile or so. So I'm going to get to the bottom. This is after that last little segment there was more climbing, but now been going steadily downhill, and there are some steep sections. So probably going to go to about 9 miles here or so, turn around and do the climb back. Like I said, an out and back. Not a ride, not real thrilled about it, but I am a little bit on time constraint, so being a weekday. And we'll see how this goes to the bottom of the hill. Well, this seems like as good a spot to turn around, since there's where the sort of trail ends, but I actually think maybe, like I said, in a couple months when I get back up this way, we'll investigate it. I think the McDade Trail goes across that bridge, but because of time, I'm going to turn around and complete this ride. And this trail's really cool, but the last like 2 miles has been a serious uphill and a pretty serious downhill. So while I do have a gravel bike, I think my skill set's pretty good to get down that stuff. But it is a larger size or bigger gravel. You definitely want disc brakes and larger tires. I believe, if I recall, I'm running a 38 millimeter up front and a 35 in the rear, and that seems to be taking everything well. So yeah, let's see what we'll head back and we'll do a tailgate talk review. So I'm heading back south. I need to take a picture of this on the way heading north on McDade Trail, but pretty area. Just got up, just climbed the hill that I was at the bottom at, and coming back this hill going south, way easier than what I called the Little Alpe d'Huez, which is the downhill portion of that's coming next. So I'm sure, I'm not breaking any Strava records going up or down as rolly as my belly is, but we'll pluck along here and get back to the truck, and we'll go from there on next steps for lunch and beer. Well, let's review this a little bit here and talk about today's ride. This area, the Delaware Valley Gap Recreation area, is really nice. Now I'm on the north end, and the McDade Trail, north end of the McDade Trail, really good. Way harder ride than I thought it was going to be. Luckily, my legs felt pretty good. But it was almost a 1-to-1 ride. And what I mean by that is, for every mile, there was almost 100 feet of climbing. Actually, probably about 90 to 95 if I do my math, which I was not expecting. I thought it'd be more of a 40 to 50%. So for every mile, maybe about 40, 50 feet. But here in the northern section of the McDade, it is definitely a real deal. Beautiful area. Ride was a little slower than I was anticipating, mainly because I wouldn't say mud. I might have used that reference before, but soft would be a better word. And then and the larger size gravel, which slows you down, whether it's on the flats, hills, or downhills. It matters. So plus the stopping and going around mud puddles, it was a slow go today, but excellent area. As far as just ride and trail and beauty, I'd give it a 4. My loop actually sucked. I'd give it a 2. So I don't know this area that well. I'll get better, especially when I'm closer to home or in that York, Lancaster, Gettysburg area, Harrisburg area. Hopefully I'll be a little better when I'm closer to home. But the plan is, like I said, when I'm out and about for things, whether it's work or play, is to set out and do some rides like this. And this is definitely worthwhile. So we're going to head back to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Once I get down there, I'm going to find a place to eat, and then we'll see how that and we'll see how that goes. Well, we might have a little noise from traffic, but I always like local places. So Pocono Pub and Grill it is. Let's go give it a shot. Oh, what a cool little place. Definitely need to come back another time. So the beer is a hazy IPA from Stable 12 out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Very crisp, very juicy, the way I like my IPAs. And the special was a Chicago dog, but I'm guessing it's not completely a Chicago dog. Can't wait to evaluate. So here we are, the Poconos version of a Chicago dog. So I can already see no speedy peppers that are usual for the Chicago dog, and no poppy seed, but it looks delicious. So some initial thoughts on the original Pocono Pub. Real cool place, rustic to walk into. First thing I noticed was the music, actually. Very, very cool, especially being a Gen Xer. They had, it was a Sirius station called pub style music or pub music. You could also see, which was cool, they were playing anything from 70s through grunge. Just wasn't a bad song amongst the time I was in there. You also see they have some outdoor seating. Very cool. I was at the bar. Everybody was great. The service was great. Actually, a really good way to cap off, as I said before, kind of a great area, but mediocre ride because of me. Also the motto behind the bar was good food, good friends, great beer. You just need to add a great ride, great bicycle. Ironically, to have a little picture of a person on a bike in the men's bathroom, which was funny. I didn't take a picture of it, obviously, or film it. The Chicago style dog, I would say it was more of a Pocono version of the Chicago dog, if you've ever had a Chicago dog. The bun didn't have poppy seeds, which is common on the Chicago dog if you've been there and had it, and they didn't have the sport peppers. But that said, it was still really good. And that stable 12 hazy IPA out of Phoenixville, PA, was really good also. So at the end, the original Pocono pub made up for the mediocre ride. And if I was rating just the experience here out of 1 star to 5 stars, I would give it a solid 4 with potential, because the original Chicago dog obviously isn't one of their specialties. They were trying. I appreciate that. And like I said, it was very good. The fries were top notch and crispy, which I guess I shouldn't be eating being a cyclist, but who cares? And like I said, the service was good. The place was cool. I bet you in the evening it gets pretty popping in there. One thing I love about the Pocono area, especially up here, I think it gets a little more driven by the New Jersey crowd, where if you grew up where I live, you end up going up to Potter, Lycoming County, which we'll get up there. There's plenty of great gravel up there. Eventually we'll get up there. So yeah, we'll conclude, I guess, overall, the original Pocono pub brought the score up, I would say, overall, until we got here for lunch. Score is pretty low, but I'm going to go out here overall with the ride, the lack of the loop, and finishing strong. We'll go with about a 3.75, and the only reason the scores pulled down is because of the bike ride, not because of the place. So we'll see where we end up next time. Catch you on the next episode.